That picture says to me, here's a person who is trying so hard to hide what she's truly feeling. It was one of my darkest points in all of my mental health journey. And my smile is so forced and it is so big and it hurts me inside to see it, but it also makes me proud to know that now I can recognize that in others sometimes. I think I started struggling with my mental health at a very young age. I remember thinking there was the Ginger on the outside, named after the movie star on Gilligan's Island, and that's who I thought, and I do think is in my truest self. But then there is Renee, which is my middle name, and I think I always thought of Renee kind of like the Beyonce and Sasha Fierce as like the at-home, sullen. I mean, what kindergartner is sullen? I think I was. I think I had those moments and I knew it. I knew that that was in me, especially after my parents' divorce. I think that I didn't know where to put Renee, and Renee and Ginger started fighting a lot more. I had to find a way to control my life because I felt very out of control. So my way of controlling was through controlling food. And so anorexia is something that I got very into. I dove right in. The disease overtook my life for about 4 years, and that was the first time that I really was sent to a therapist. And talk about not ready to be helped. I mean, I was doing things like lying to the therapist to the extent of putting pebbles in my pocket because they weighed you every time. And then getting into college, I didn't realize I had narcolepsy, but had narcolepsy, so I was falling asleep a lot, and my type A did not fit well with narcolepsy. Like, I would be so angry with myself, and that's when the darkness started to get a little deeper. And that's when I had my first suicide attempt. And what I did after the first suicide attempt, and so grateful that I was not successful, was that I went on and kind of ran away as fast as I could. Pretended it didn't happen. It was much easier to say to myself when I felt a lot better the next day, like, who was that? That was weird. I'm gonna go ahead and pretend that never happened. Instead of diving into, why did that happen? There are still stigmas with mental health, but I think we've gotten a lot better about being able to identify and be okay with sharing that, say, I have depression or I have anxiety. I think people say that a lot. What people don't say is, I go to therapy. I had to go to the hospital. That's what I did. And that's what took my sharing of my journey to a next level. And so when my first book was about to be printed, and the first line was, I checked myself into a mental health hospital, I woke up in the middle of the night and it was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna ruin my life, my career, nobody's gonna hire me. And I'm telling my husband all this, and he said, if you didn't take this risk and do this, the book's gonna mean nothing. And then once I did, it was unbelievable how much healing I felt, because it was the first time that I said, here's who I am. And if you don't like it, I guess I don't care. I've been very open with my children in an age-appropriate way because they're so young, that when I was having what I like to call a gray day, where I wake up and I know it's there and I see it as like a monster or a fog, and as soon as I see it, I say out loud, I see you. It sounds wild, but it really identifies it, and it puts a verbal cue to say, I see you. And then I call my husband or my therapist or my mom, my team, and I say, it's happening. I'm having a gray day. But if I am just having a day like I did last summer, where I was crying on the deck, I didn't realize that my children were close enough that I thought they were down playing. And my 5-year-old came up and he said, Mommy, what's wrong? And in that moment, I realized it's the best to say, Mommy's sick today, because I am. It's okay to be a little sick today because I can get better tomorrow. And at his age, that's the perfect opening door to start the conversation of, just because you don't see something physically wrong with someone doesn't mean that they are well. The tips I do to get to that place is service, meditation, gratitude, They all sound like, oh yeah, I've heard of that. I do that too. But really implementing those into your life. And so I still do gratitude every morning on my shower, in the steam. I write what I'm grateful for. I set an intention for the day. I practice mindful meditation. I practice guided meditation. I try to do yoga and Pilates, but with mind meditation within it. Do you know how people say, oh, I carve out an hour 5 days a week to work out? I carve out an hour so that I can put focus on how am I going to make my mental health the most stable it can possibly be. Healing is a constant maintenance, just like physical health. You don't go and get in sick shape and have a personal trainer for a year and eat right for 12 months and you're like, look at me. And then you stop and everything stays the same. That's not how it works. And that's not how it works with mental health either. It is a lifelong workout of your brain.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.